good people, it is Tashara from Politics and Fashion here today with my 2024 no buy list. I created one of these last year instead of making a wish list, and it was so incredibly helpful. So let's jump right into it, my friends. Now, I have shared with you all before that I like to spend money like a drug dealer. I like to pop bottles, go on exotic vacations, buy things that I do not need. And you just gotta know yourself at a big age. And so I have to put certain things in place, boundaries, okay, guardrails to protect myself and my bank account. And if you also have a similar compulsion to living the soft life, to spending exorbitant amounts of money, because that's the life we should live, let's be honest, okay? I was born to live the lifestyle that I cannot yet afford. And so if you are similar, then I definitely recommend you create your own no-buy list for the year. Pop down in the comments and let us know what is on yours. But let's get started with mine in the meantime. Number one on the list is Hermes Oran sandals. Hermes Oran sandals. If you are a luxury lover, you already know which ones I'm talking about. Let me show you the two that I have. I have the black and tan pony hair. I grabbed this pair when I was in Orlando at the Mall of Millennia. And I have this bronze pair that I got early last year because I had spent probably, I don't know, a year and a half trying to get a second pair, and I was always told that every color except for black, gold, and white, gold of course by Hermes standards is tan, was always sold out. And I was like, I'm just not going to get those basic colors. It just doesn't interest me. And so finally a sales associate told me that if I wanted them in a different colorway, to get them off season. So I got these probably like last February. Obviously didn't wear them until the summer, but this is my second pair, and it is in, the light is kind of blowing it out, but a bronzy gold shade, okay? And those are the two pair that I have. Those are the only two pair that I shall own, definitely for this year and for the foreseeable future. At the end of the day, y'all, I have to be honest with myself. It is just an H logo on a sandal. And for a flat sandal at the price point, it has become increasingly difficult for me to be able to just substantiate the cost for, to be completely honest with you. And what is also a parallel concern outside of the price for me, y'all, is the just abhorrent customer service that I have received at Hermes. And I don't want to go on a whole Hermes rant because there are parts of the brand that I do appreciate, but realistically, I was able to snag my black and gold Picotin, which is a somewhat coveted bag. Well, shit, at this point, every bag is coveted at Hermes, but not one of the holy grail bags, okay? I was able to snag that because I had a friend who worked at the brand. So I waited for probably about 6 months after telling him I was interested in the bag. He called me, said the bag was ready. I went down there, got the bag, came home, had the bag. It was a thing. It was great. It was a lovely experience at the top of 2021. At some point, he left the brand. And because I had been spoiled, I'd only really gone in to Hermes to shop with him. So because I had been spoiled and I didn't know it, I did not realize how difficult it was to purchase anything. Now, I've been watching a few Hermes videos here on YouTube and kind of looking at the purse forum and different blogs, and from what I'm understanding, around the time that he left is also where certain techniques and possibly kind of sales models changed at the brand as well. I don't know. It is a conspiracy theory that I don't care to invest that much time in. There are other more important things happening in the world outside of Hermes. But what I can say is that I've had to fight, all my life I had to fight, to get anything in that store outside of the very basic things. Click clacks, certain jewelry, scarves. They gave me a hard time when I inquired about a lipstick for my mom over the holiday break. I just wanted to know the price of the lipstick, and they wanted me to stand in the line. We're not doing it. I'm not going to be able to do it. When I was in Greece, in Athens, I went to Hermes, was told that nothing in the store was on sale except for a couple pair of shoes. It's just a museum. You're being dishonest as someone who worked in luxury retail, and I don't have to take it. what did Urkel used to say? I don't have to take this. I'm going home. I do not work to earn a wage to fight someone to purchase something. I mean, it's just mind blowing to me. And again, for what that sandal is, the price point and the poor customer service, I am good on Hermes or Ron's. And it is quite possible that I will come to you very soon and say I am done with Hermes because the games have just gotten out of control and I'm not interested. Number 2, let's go on to another luxury item. I will not be buying any more luxury belts. And y'all hold me accountable to this because I've made some poor decisions. I'm going to be honest with you. Players mess up. Players mess up too. Because this has been the year where I've realized I don't need any more. I sold 3 last year, rather. I sold 3 in 2023, okay? And I have a 4th that will be listed on my Poshmark page very soon. Let's talk about it. Number 1 is the Loewe Obi belt. That is the one that I've shared with you before on my least worn list of luxury items. It didn't get worn. Ask me if I wore it in 2023. I did not. I wore it for a photo shoot inside my home. Took it off, put it back in this drawer behind me. Then there were 2 Valentino belts. They were not both purchased last year, but they barely got worn. And so by, I think, October or November, they were listed on Poshmark. Both have since sold. You all probably remember the black one. I wore that a bit more. It was a great belt. I still love it. It's a reversible belt. But what I've come to understand is that I don't really like mixing logos as far as a logo on a bag and a logo on a belt. If that is for you, totally fine. But for me, there's something about that mixed match that just doesn't sit well. And then we had the raffia one that I don't even know why I bought that. What did I think I was going to wear that with? I styled it twice for photo shoots, and I don't think I ever actually wore it in real life. I could be wrong, but you all know me. You know my style. You don't see me wearing like waist belts on top of things. It's just not how I think to style things day to day. And if I have to fight, again, all my life I had to fight. If I have to fight when it comes down to any piece of clothing, especially a luxury item or accessory, it gotta go, bruh. These things cost too much money to not be in constant rotation, okay? And then the last belt that I sold this year did not have a logo, and I would have kept it, but it was the wrong color. And it was an Hermes Kelly belt that I had in the tan or the gold color. That actually was a gift, and I really wish I could have held on to it, but you all probably never even saw me style it on my channel because what was I going to wear that with? It should have been in black. Black and gold, black and rose gold. That's really the only luxury belt I would probably entertain at some point in the future. But given my previous Hermes rant, doubtful unless I am abroad it's going to come into my collection. And so for now, the belt that I am wearing today, let me show it to you actually because it is, I think, a great find. I got it from Mango. It is a leather belt. It is black and gold. It does the trick, y'all. And once I got this, I thought to myself, is a luxury belt even something that I truly need? I mean, that can go true for all of these things that I talk about on this channel. So bring it back, Shasha. Not too much. Not too much, sis. Because I don't want to talk myself out of my love for luxury items. But in the case and category of belts, what I will say is that for me, a luxury belt is just not a good investment. They don't get enough wear, and I think I would rather put that money towards other items in my collection. I'm totally fine with my leather Mango belt. Let's go to luxury sunglasses. And this is on my no-buy list, not because I don't love them, but because I can't be trusted. This came to me because I was reminded of when I first started on YouTube, seriously, back in early 2021, I told y'all that I was not a sunglass person. I told you that. And I think I ended up getting influenced by some of our favorite influencers. We all know and love them, who have amazing sunglasses collections. And I think sunglasses really do take any outfit up a notch. And I'm like, okay, so I've been missing this category. Let me make the investment. But the reason I told you all I wasn't a sunglass person was because I lose them. And that material fact about myself did not change. What did Maya Angelou say? When people tell you who they are, believe them. I should have believed myself. Should have been like, self, you right. Because sure enough, this was the year that I lost multiple pairs of sunglasses. So let's start with the Tom Fords. Lost those around Fashion Week in September. Couldn't tell you where they are, and I'm sick about it. Then I got another pair of sunglasses, not luxury, but still love them down, from Nanine. And girl, I lost these before I even left Richmond, where I purchased them during a weekend trip. I called them and I said, girl, I've lost my sunglasses. Can you please just ship me another pair? I will pay for them over the phone. By the time I got back to my home, they'd already arrived. So great customer service. Love this woman-owned small boutique in Richmond. Only for me to try to pull them out a month later and realize I'd lost the second pair. Now I'm looking for my Fendi cat eye sunglasses. Don't know where those are either. Hopefully they will pop up. I can't be trusted. I cannot be trusted. And then I got this pair of sunglasses. Let me show you these. I believe they're called the Jane sunglasses by Elisa Johnson. Every time I put them on, I just want to be like, I love them. I freaking love them. Tortoise frame, light blue lens, the kind of sunnies that you can wear inside as well as outside, obviously. They just are a stunner shade, in my opinion. And so at this point, will I be buying anything luxury when these exist in the universe? Hell no. Okay, and there are other, I know, sunglasses designers as well. A lot of these companies black-owned. This company's black-owned as well. Elisa is Magic Johnson's daughter. And so this is where my money's going to go. I mean, prayerfully, I don't lose these as well, obviously. But they are a much easier price point to digest. And if I can invest in a black-owned anything, that is what I am going to do for sure. And so, yeah, no more luxury sunglasses for me in the year of 2024, our Lord AD. Let's go to YSL shoes. Anthony Vaccarello, you tried it. He's a creative director, by the way. Love YSL. I used to work at Saint Laurent. I don't say that often because while I was there, it was under Vaccarello's tenure, and he was very tight-lipped about employees or allowing employees to really say much of anything about the brand if you work there. And so I think in some ways that's been trained into me. But if you ever wanted to know, I worked for Saint Laurent. And I knew from the beginning something was off. Not about the brand. Still love it. One of the best jobs I ever had. It was about the sizing of the shoes. Because I remember my colleagues trying to tell me that a size 40 was a US size 10. And girl, I felt like one of Cinderella's stepsisters trying to... Why is it not fitting? Oh, that's actually not true. Go up to a 41. That's okay. But really, what a size 10 is a 42. And my feet are a true size 10 and a half, I have come to understand, okay? So I'm tired of stuffing my feet in these shoes. And it doesn't have to be that way, Anthony Vaccarello, because there are plenty of luxury brands that are more size inclusive as far as shoes are concerned, one of which is Jimmy Choo. They go up to, I think, a 44. I know I have a 43 Jimmy Choo, a Bing, in my closet, okay? The way they shoes in a size 42 actually fit my feet. There are Valentinos, so many brands. So you're choosing violence. And I don't know why it's taking me this long to realize that our relationship is abusive as far as those shoes are concerned. Because, girl, my pinky toe about fell off during Fashion Week in this pair of shoes right here. And they are sexy. I'm talking about the baddest. I got these from Monroe. during her Poshmark sale. They were on her closet. I hit my sis. I said, run me those ASAP. ASAP Rocky. So I know y'all have seen the shoes. Ask me, have I worn them outside of styling them for the thing? The answer is no. It's no. Because much like my silver Paris, Texas boots, which are also on my Poshmark for sale right now, when I sit down in them, they hurt my feet. And there's something off about that. You haven't even stood up and your feet already hurt? Yeah, they don't fit, sis. They don't fit. And let me just say, I think that luxury brands, I really hope very soon will come to a moment of reckoning around their sizing, because it's not just the shoes. There are plenty of people that wear over a size 10 US. So in my opinion, do better there. But it's also about the clothing. And I mean, for the people who are listening to me right now, our tribe, you all already know this, right? We can talk about this and lament this fact backwards and forwards. The systemic racism that is omnipresent in the fashion industry, especially at that level, and what it means for all of the ready-to-wear, especially, to lack any kind of inclusivity. Not only are the price points sometimes not at all comparable to what you're receiving, but also to know that above maybe a size 10 US, definitely a 12 US, it can be very difficult to find things that are considered luxury that fit. And it is a loss. It is fat phobic, and it is definitely perpetuating a very narrow European standard of beauty that just harms the majority of the world, who are people of color. So that's my rant. Again, love YSL. Ready to Wear has definitely had a big year, but yeah, the shoes are on my no-buy list, and I'm also, again, just tired of the lack of inclusivity and diversity. And speaking about systemic racism, let's get into Lululemon. That is also on the no-buy list of 2023, and honestly forever ever, because you could never ever Lululemon. I am sick of the reports around the company's struggles with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And based upon what the founder and former CEO said recently, it makes perfect sense. So I will link a few articles down below if you were interested. But basically, the company has come to the media's attention more than once around employees, black employees, making claims of just internal issues with microaggressions, with a lack of promotional opportunities, just racism is no other way to describe it. And this is all actually quite interesting because Lululemon, like many companies post 2020, do have an entire department dedicated to inclusivity. It's called the IDEA department, based upon the news article that I read. Yet they continue to struggle because as recently as last month, there was yet another article making the same claims by black employees. I happen to know someone personally who works at the company in an executive role who pretty much summed up what was in the article, that while they are trying, they are failing. And I do not want to separate the company, right? Because white supremacy is pervasive, and I don't mean for this video to sound fatalistic, but it's just true. And so we have to figure out where our kind of grain of sand is in our morality and what we do and do not participate in. But the very, very, very last straw that let me know I would not be going back is, as I alluded to, when the CEO recently said that he feels that the company's problem is with their DEI work and that they need to know that they don't want certain people walking through the door. They're trying to be everything to everybody. I'm paraphrasing. And he also made mention that the advertisements have people who look unhealthy. Now, this is all just very veiled criticism for people who are in different sized bodies than he thinks should be shopping at Lululemon. It is fat phobic. And he also was actually still directly affiliated with the company. He no longer is, but he was at the time when he said that he felt like certain tights had to be recalled because people were, their thighs were rubbing them together. So like bigger bodies were causing the quality issues with the brand. Again, another just very obviously fat phobic statement, and also completely erroneous, because how are you an athletic brand and people can't rub the material together? Isn't that the whole point, for it to be stretchy and for it to be high quality in the midst of exercise, meaning rubbing together? So what you're basically telling me is that you don't want me to shop at your brand. That's fine. It's racist. It's fat phobic. It's discriminatory. But it's also okay with me because you don't have to take any of my money. I am happy to give it to somewhere else. So if you all have athletic wear companies that you love, please let us know down below. Again, Lululemon is on my no-buy list forever, ever. And the last item on my no-buy list are books. They're books. I cannot, y'all. I have books in every room of my home. I hoard books. I have even began to hoard magazines because I do have 2 magazine subscriptions currently. I have 3. AD, Travel and Leisure, Architectural Digest, Travel and Leisure, as well as Women's Health. And I find it hard to even recycle those at the end of the month. And so I am in a very text-rich home, which I love, but it would be even better if I read all these things, and I don't. I could read a book a month and still have books left over that I have not read. Okay, I find these books, they sound interesting to me. I read about them in the Times, etc. I see them, and I love a bookstore, girl. A bookstore, cafe, they got little tchotchkes. You can find me there, okay? At the little independent bookstore. Oh, I need this. No, but you haven't read the other thises that you also needed, right? And so similar to my love for stationery and notebooks, which I put on my no-buy list last year, and I almost did good, y'all. I only bought 2. But it was helpful because I would have bought more. I'm putting books on my list. I also am making it a more of a priority to read this year. I've been reading Temple Folk. And I have other books, of course, that are on my book list or my reading list for the year, including the 2 that I got for Christmas. One of them is the newest Zadie Smith book, and the other is a book called The Paper Menagerie. And I've been reading actually those short stories as well. I started reading that last night. And so I can read multiple books at a time. I actually prefer to do that because one book does not tend to hold my attention from start to finish. And so I just need to get back into the habit of reading before I allow myself to bring any more books into my collection. All right, y'all, that is my no-buy list for 2024. Again, let us know what is on your no-buy list. Also, what are you reading? Okay, maybe we need to start a book club over here. I feel like we all could read a little bit more, especially in this multimedia era of so much noise coming at us. Sometimes it's nice to just slow things down. So what are you reading, my friend? In the meantime, make sure you are following me all over social media. You are tuned into my podcast, and I will see you good people across the internet. Peace.